Most creators trying to grow on YouTube right now are doing it completely wrong. And before you think, yeah, I've heard this all before, just hear me out for a second, because what I'm about to show you in this video isn't just another recycled tip video from someone who just read a blog post last Tuesday. See, I've been making YouTube videos for 8 years.
Hey guys, my name's Dylan Reynolds and this is my new YouTube channel.
The last year specifically, I've gone all in on YouTube growth strategy. I've worked with some of the biggest names in the space. I mean, Gary Vaynerchuk has actually flown me out to New York City to spend the day with him, and I got to sit down with his team at VaynerMedia, and I've also had multiple videos across my channels hit hundreds of thousands of views. And with all of that said, here's what I'm seeing right now across the board on YouTube. The gap between creators who understand how YouTube actually works in 2026 and those who don't is getting wider and wider, and it's happening faster. But here's the thing, you're not behind yet. See, in this video, I'm going to be handing you a 7-step roadmap that I call the Outlier synthesis strategy. It's the exact method that I personally use to come up with video ideas that are fresh, algorithm ready, and nearly impossible for other people to go and copy time and time again. Real quick, I built a completely free AI-powered checklist that maps out every step of the roadmap we're about to be going through. You guys can use it while you watch this video or after when you're doing ideation yourself. It's completely free and it's in the first link in the description below. Now, you've probably heard this same piece of advice hundreds of times from the YouTube growth space. And that piece of advice is typically to go out and find outlier videos within your niche, then remake them with your own fingerprint or your own spin on it, and then just repeat that. Look, I get it. Like, on the surface, that makes a ton of sense. If something worked once for somebody else, it should work again, right? And this strategy worked really well for a long time. It genuinely did. But YouTube is changing. YouTube is on hard mode now. And this strategy, just doing outliers within your niche, that doesn't work anymore. And this is where really this whole video starts to get interesting, because the second an outlier exists in your niche, when that starts to happen, it's already dead. You just don't know it yet. Genuinely, take a second and think about it like this. The moment a video blows up in your niche, every other creator within your niche will probably see it. And when they see it's an outlier, they're all gonna try and remake it. They're all gonna chase it. But the thing is that the algorithm, your audience, has already seen the format before. So by the time that you realistically get to making that outlier, the novelty is gone. At that point, you're no longer riding a trending wave. At that point, by the time you realistically get to making that outlier, you're probably swimming in the wake of someone else's ship. And that right there, that's the first problem. Now, the second problem is that most people who do try to find outliers, they get them wrong typically in one of 4 different ways. And if any of these sound like it's really hitting a little too close to home for you, then this video was made exactly to help you. So typically they either find a massive creator's outlier, like an outlier from Mr. Beast, Ali Abdaal, or Alex Hormozi, which, by the way, means that the format or that outlier has already been replicated likely thousands of times. It's become too saturated. Or another mistake I see all the time is people copy the outliers within their own niche verbatim. Same title, same structure, same thumbnail concept, same format. And that's not adaptation, that's just full-on plagiarism. And the thing is, the audience can feel it. Take it from me, I've been around the block in this space at this point, and I've made a lot of different mistakes when creating content and just, figuring out what works and what doesn't. And when I was starting, I hate to admit it, but I would literally just remake people's videos thinking that that was the strategy that we were supposed to do, that we were supposed to follow in order to grow. Or another mistake is people, they try to find and pick an outlier idea, but have no idea how to actually adapt it to their niche. So the final video ends up feeling really disconnected and just weird. The format doesn't really fit, it feels forced, and just the whole thing falls apart, it falls flat. And then finally, pretty much the last mistake I see creators making when they try to do this is, and this is the most common one, they get so deep into researching outliers that they forget to actually just make a good video. They become really tunnel visioned on the metrics, on the views, the growth, and they really lose sight of the actual job, which is creating something genuinely worth watching. Look, I understand why this happens. When 300 people online are all saying slightly different versions of the same advice, it's hard to know what to actually do, what advice to actually follow to grow on YouTube. So you end up chasing the metrics, you end up chasing the outliers that everyone says to, and you end up running in circles. The real problem here isn't effort, it's the strategy. And that's exactly what we're gonna fix right now. Because now that you have the context, I'm gonna walk you through what I call the outlier synthesis strategy. This is a 7-step roadmap for finding viral ideas in a way that's both predictable and repeatable, especially right now when YouTube is harder than it's ever been before and views have been down across the board for almost everyone. So step 1 of 7 is basically before we build anything new, we need to destroy something old. And that's the traditional outlier strategy that we just talked about a second ago. And that traditional outlier strategy works like this. You basically find a video in your niche that performed way above average, figure out why it worked. You would remake it with your own take, and it would be simple, it would be clean, and it's logical. And for a while, it worked. But here's the thing about this strategy. It cannibalizes itself. See, when every creator in a niche is hunting the exact same outliers and remaking the exact same formats, you end up with a niche full of nearly identical videos. You blend in. The audience gets bored and the algorithm just stops rewarding the format because it's seen it thousands and thousands of times. And then you end up feeling stuck as a byproduct because you've built a content strategy on a foundation that's actively eating itself to death. This is why so many creators feel like they're doing everything right, but still not breaking through. They're playing the same game as everyone else on the same board with the same pieces in a sea full of people. And your videos as a result become noise. But the outlier synthesis strategy flips the entire board. Instead of hunting for outliers within your niche, we're going to find them somewhere your competitors aren't even looking. Now that brings us to step 2 of 7. And this is where the work actually starts within this roadmap. And I want to be straight up and honest with you. The quality of your research determines the quality of your output. It's really, really simple. Garbage in will equal garbage out with this step that we're about to go over. So the goal of this step, it's really specific, okay? It's basically to find trending topics within your niche, ideally that have low competition. Now, really quickly, you could try to do this manually. You could try to go digging through YouTube, pulling data, cross-referencing views, upload dates, subscriber counts, you name it. It's possible, but it's also a massive pain in the butt. It's incredibly slow and tedious and just prone to human error. So I actually use a tool for all of my ideation and research, and the tool that I use to come up with the idea of this very video that you're watching, and I genuinely believe this is a must-have if you are really serious about growing on YouTube, is VELIO. So VELIO was built by one of my buddies, Marcus Jones. He has like 470-something thousand subscribers and has been really deep in the YouTube strategy world for years. He could run miles around me in terms of YouTube growth, and he's built VELIO to solve this problem that we're talking about right now. In my heart-to-heart opinions, it is the best YouTube research tool available right now. It makes this entire roadmap, every step of the roadmap that we're going through in this video, significantly easier. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop my personal link in the description below if you guys want to check it out. But regardless of what tool you guys use, the mission in this step is the same. And it's, as I said, to identify what's trending within your niche. Not what videos or outliers are trending, what topic is trending. You might be wondering what the difference is. Well, take for example, if you're a video editor, maybe a specific topic that's trending within the video editing space is a specific editing software. So you see, it's that intersection where the opportunity lives. To understand how, let's move on to step 3 of 7. Here's where this strategy starts to look way different from everything that you've probably been told up to this point. While you're doing your research, I don't want you looking for formats in your niche or even in adjacent niches. Forget about that. What I want you to do is I want you to go somewhere completely unrelated. But first you need more context as to what is a format. So a format is basically the structural template of a video. It's the shape, the idea, the concept, not the idea itself. For example, things like 6 signs you're going to achieve something, keep going, right? That's a format. Or I tried X for 30 days, here's what happened. Format. What nobody tells you about, topic, format, right? The format is the vehicle. The topic is the passenger. They're separate. So when I say find formats in unrelated niches, what I mean is go to personal development, for example, go to fitness, go to finance, go to gaming, go to parenting, go to cooking, whatever it is. Find the videos that are massively outperforming everything else in those niches and channels. In niches and channels that no other creator in your space, in your niche, will be looking at. So just to crystallize this, if you're in the business or make money online niche, I guarantee you a majority of other creators in that same niche are not looking for outliers within the gaming niche, which means that's where you need to be looking. Then when you find a good format, take note of that format. I want you to ignore the topic completely. So just to clarify once again, why are we going in unrelated niches or channels? Because your audience hasn't seen it. Your competitors haven't thought to look there. And the format is already proven. It's just never been applied to your world, to your niche. And that brings us to step 4 of 7 of this roadmap. So this step is the heart of the whole strategy. And it's also the one that when it clicks, you'll never approach content ideation the same way again. Now, here's a formula or really like combination that you should always be chasing. A trending topic from your niche, ideally with low competition, paired with a proven video format borrowed from a completely unrelated niche. That's it. That's the formula. When you pair those two things together, you end up getting something that feels simultaneously familiar and completely fresh for your niche, because the audience in your niche, in your industry, has never seen that format before. And the thing is, the format itself is already psychologically proven to hold attention. It's just never lived in your world until now. I mean, the title of this video that you're watching right now, I got the format of it within the AI space. All right, let me make this concrete. Say you're in the YouTube growth niche, my niche. Let's say I go look at what's trending within my niche, ideally with low competition. And let's say it's creator burnout, right? That's my topic. Great. Okay, cool. So now I have my topic, creator burnout. And let's say that I'm going to go into some random niche like the mental health niche, completely unrelated to YouTube growth. And let's say I find a video that's massively outperforming on a channel. So it's an outlier. Let's say it's called 6 Signs You're Gonna Beat Depression. Keep going. Interesting. Now I have my format. So what I want to do is combine them. And when I combine those two together, now I have a video idea like, I don't know, 6 signs you're gonna blow up on YouTube. Keep going. See, this isn't actually a made up example. It's real. And that video on my channel, it hit 175,000 views. Not because I was lucky, because this formula works. All right, step 5 of 7. And by the way, at this point, you guys are already ahead of most creators just by knowing this. Real talk. This is the step that completely separates the people who actually execute this strategy from the people who try it and wonder why it didn't work. When you find your outlier format from an unrelated niche, you can't just swap the topic in and call it done. You have to strip it. And that's what this step is. Because when you don't, or when you skip this part, I find that the outliers begin to lose a lot of punchiness. In the attempt to try to articulate that better, this is kind of what I mean. Let's take the example I just gave you. So let's say that we take the original video, 6 signs you're gonna beat depression, keep going. Before I can go and use that format, I need to ask myself 3 questions. And this is 3 questions I always run myself through. The first question is, what are all of the niche specific details that I need to remove from that title in order to turn it into a format? Depression, that's mental health specific. So that word has to go. The second question I always ask myself is, what is the core structural template underneath? So in this example, it was a numbered list video, plus a signal of future success, plus an emotional trigger or payoff. And then I move on to the third and final question, which is, what would this look like as a fill in the blank title? So in this example, it's 6 signs you're going to achieve / overcome pain point or goal. Keep going. Now that's a template. And that template works for almost any niche that exists. Finance, fitness, gaming, relationships, you name it. And yes, even YouTube growth. Most people who try outlier strategies skip this step because they're just lazy, or they just don't know that it's a step they should be doing. And this isn't fluff. The reason this is genuinely an important step is so that you can avoid half borrowing a concept, because creators never actually extract the structural DNA of formats. And the final product ends up feeling disconnected as a byproduct. The topic and format don't end up fitting together naturally. And this step avoids that from happening, because when that does happen, the audience can sense it, even if they can't really articulate it. So strip the topic first, then step 6 of 7, build the template. And this right here is a step that actually birthed the name that I came up with called the Outlier Synthesis Method. Because once you've stripped the topic down to its structural template, like we just did, you build the fill in the blank version, and now you have something incredibly powerful. You have a reusable format that can apply to any trending topic in your niche forever. In fact, let me just show you this with a few examples. 6 signs you're going to beat depression, keep going. Becomes 6 signs you're going to achieve/overcome, pain point, keep going. I lost 30 pounds in 90 days. Here's the honest truth. That becomes I achieved result in time frame. Here's the honest truth. Or what nobody tells you about getting rich, right? That now becomes what nobody tells you about aspirational outcome. Do you understand what's happening here? Do you see what's happening? The template becomes your intellectual property. Nobody else in your niche has it yet because they're not looking where you looked to find it. This is how you build a content library that never runs dry, that never feels stale. You're not sitting staring at a blank page wondering what the next move is. With this, you have a stack of proven structural templates, each one waiting to be paired with whatever topic is trending in your niche that week. It's really cool stuff. And super quickly, before revealing the final and 7th step of this roadmap or this strategy, I wanted to quickly let you know I'm actually going to be running a live workshop at the end of this month where we're going to dive deeper into more needle moving strategies that would take just way too long to explain or go over in this video, including how to turn viewers into buyers. And the thing is, I'm only capping this at 20 people. That's it. It's a decision I made because I want to actually be able to work with the people in the room, not just broadcast to a crowd. But before joining, this one is for creators who are actually serious, not people who just want tips. People who want to build a real channel and real business with that YouTube channel as the engine. We go deep on both sides, growing your channel and making it generate actual income. So if that's you, the link is in the description below. There's 20 spots only. When they're gone, they're gone. And with that being said, now let's jump into the final step. Step 7 of 7. This is the full and final formula that I want you to write down, even though you don't have to if you don't want to, because remember, I'm giving you guys a completely free AI-powered checklist that is built around this exact video in this 7-step roadmap. But anyways, I digress. Here it is. Trending topic from within your niche plus proven format from a completely different, unrelated niche equals fresh, original, algorithmic ready piece of content. When you do this right, you get both things working for you simultaneously. You get the topic's momentum because it's already trending within your niche. There's already search demand. The audience is already hungry and primed for it. And you get the format's proven psychological appeal because the structure has already demonstrated it can hold attention. It works. It's just never been seen in your niche. And the result feels completely fresh and original to your audience, even though every single component of it has already been battle tested for you. You see, that's not luck. That's leverage. That is strategy. And the fact that your competitors are still hunting outliers within their own niche, copying the same things, saturating the same formats, blending in within a sea of sameness, it means that the window that you have right now to do this differently is wide, wide open. Don't waste it.